Hi guys, well it's 8 o'clock, so let's get started. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for attending. I know you're all busy and you have other things to do than to listen to me, so I'll make this as quick as I can, but we have a lot of ground to cover. So I just want to make sure that we cover it all and get a chance to answer your questions at the end of the event here. And I always have to put this up here to remind myself, to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, I would appreciate that. I post a lot of good HVAC training videos up there that you can learn from, even if you don't sign up for my class. Do a search YouTube for HVAC training videos, and I'll pop up right there. You'll see it. So go ahead and do that if you'd like. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get started here. I'm going to talk quickly about me. It's not really important where I've been and what I've done, but there is one key thing here. I spent 22 years in the Marine Corps, and while I was in the Marine Corps, I got my bachelor's degree in business management at the same time that I was teaching electronic technical training at a joint service school in Denver. Now, this is important because number one is I understand what it is like to juggle school, work, family, and home, and try and balance all of that. It's difficult at best. So I understand that. And I also taught adult students for 5 years in a technical training environment. So I know what you're going to be going through if you sign up for the class tonight, and or any class that you may try and attend as an adult student. In the HVAC industry, I've been a technician, service manager, and I'm a licensed contractor here in Florida. And I have a real interest in your success and the success of the HVAC industry. I find that we do very poorly at training our technicians to be professional, top-notch service technicians. Also, I love what I do. I do this full-time, and I'm available to help you before, during, and after your course of instruction, or even if you don't take the course. If you have any questions about what it's like to be an HVAC technician or anything else that I can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about traditional training and online training and what the difference is. Probably most of you are used to traditional training, and that's called instructor-centered. That means that it's on his schedule, his time frame. If you're in college, if he decides not to show up, you show up and wait for him for 15 minutes and then go back to your dorm room. So it is truly on his schedule. It doesn't matter whether you're working or you have children or have softball games or soccer that you have to go to. Also, he teaches with his method. So if he comes in and he just blasts through the lecture, you have to pretty much bend to the way that he teaches. You also have to go at his pace. So, if you take 15, 20 students in a classroom, 5 of them, the course of instruction is going to be very fast and they're going to miss a lot. The other 5, it's going to be just right for them and they'll get it all. And then for the other 5, it's going to be very, very slow and they're going to get bored and tune out. So you don't have any option when you have an instructor other than to do it in his schedule, his method, and his pace. It doesn't even matter if you don't feel like going, you have to do it. And the other thing is, if you miss something that he said in his lecture or course of instruction, it's very, very hard to go back and recapture that. If you missed it, you pretty much missed it. And to ask that question right after the course of instruction of the part that you missed because he was either going too fast or you weren't paying attention, it's pretty embarrassing. Nobody wants to be that guy to ask that question. So consequently, you don't, and you miss that course of instruction. And the one good thing is you have much more accountability. And, if you miss 2 or 3 classes, you're going to eventually have to show back up and answer to your instructor. So that is a good thing because it holds you accountable. So what about online training? Well, I think everything is going in that direction right now. And I think probably in the next decade, you'll see that most colleges probably won't even have a physical classroom except for for very few. So online training is student-centered. And what does that mean? That means that it's on your schedule. You set your schedule to train. So if you have 3 days a week, you take 3 days a week. And if something gets in the way of one of those days, you just reschedule or you just don't do it. So you're pretty flexible to work your training into your life schedule, and everybody's life schedule is different. And it's your method of training, because the online training that we provide has reading assignments, written assignments, videos, and quizzes and supplementary information. You can go back and revisit uh, a lecture that, if you were in class, would have happened 2 or 3 months ago, just to refresh your memory if there's something that you need to brush up on. Also at your pace. So if you get into a module that you have experience in, you can just kind of breeze on through that and spend your time working on that part of the course of instruction that's a little bit more difficult and you don't have experience with. And the good thing is, if you miss it, you really, really don't miss it. You don't have to be that guy. I mean, you might not have a question on something that you've read or listened to on the video until a week later. We can always come back and ask that question in the online classroom and get it answered. The other thing is if you have a question and you just don't get it, all you have to do is reach out and talk to me, and we'll set up a evening like this, and we will go through and I will help you through your course of instruction. One thing is, you really have to be accountable to yourself. So if you're not self-disciplined and you blow things off all the time, this is online training is going to be tough. I can send you emails and reminders and so forth, but there's no physical contact, eye-to-eye contact that we have, not yet anyway. Okay, so what about the hands-on? That is probably the most frequent question that I receive because of the online HVAC training. In fact, I think I have someone here tonight that has some of the guys that he's working with telling him that he doesn't need to be trained, and you can just learn it on the job. Well, I'm going to tell you that you don't get into an airplane until someone's had ground school and learned the bookwork. You don't scuba dive by throwing on the tanks and scuba diving. Not if you're smart. You go and you learn scuba diving before you even get in the pool. And anything in life that you have ever done, especially if it is a skill that requires some level of knowledge, you have classroom training before you put your hands on anything. It's silly to do that backwards. And everybody, that hands-on part is, everybody wants the hands-on, hands-on, hands-on. That is about a 3 to 6 week learning curve. So if you get hired on at a contractor, I mean, I think most of us know how to turn a wrench and unscrew a screw, and brazing might take 6 hours of practice for you to do, and to learn the ropes in and around air conditioning and those little nuances. That part is not rocket science. It's hands-on work. It's pretty intuitive if you're mechanically inclined. Anybody can learn the hands-on part. That's the problem with our industry today. So everybody thinks they can put their hands on some gauges in an air conditioner, and then in 3 weeks they can fix it. And that's not the case. If you talk to any contractor, HVAC supply house, they can tell you that 8 out of 10 technicians, 7 out of 10 technicians kind of know what they're doing, and they kind of muddle their way through, but they are not that top-notch technician that they really should be. Truly, it is the knowledge that's the key to your success here. The HVAC technicians that have a firm understanding and are a student of their trade are in high demand, and they are the ones that receive high pay. Those guys that just kind of get along to get along, they do okay. But if you want to be that top-notch guy that is earning a great living for you and your family, you need to be up to snuff, up to speed, and current with your knowledge. Okay, so I'm going to take you behind the scenes in the classroom. Down below, there's a spot to ask some questions. If you want to ask them, those will get recorded for after the presentation here. So I won't be able to get to those until the end, but while I'm fuddling around with this, you can ask any questions you might have right now. Okay, so here we are. This is our learning portal. It's HVAC Training Solutions HVAC Training Portal. And this is the login screen right here. So we'll get logged in. When you first log into the HVAC Training Portal where the classes are, you go to your home and your courses over here. And these are some of the other courses we have. If you sign up for the HVAC Technician course, this is going to be the only course that you see. If you're in the NCCER apprenticeship program, this is the only one that you're going to see. So there are some other courses that are available. And if you look down here is our live training calendar. It looks like it's April 2nd. Thursday evening, we do have a schematic diagrams part 1 that you can sign up for and log into and attend live training like we're doing tonight. Oh, the other thing I want to tell you, I'm pretty excited. I won't bend your ear too long in this, but I just got back from Jacksonville at Baker Distributing. It's a local supplier. They have a great modern HVAC classroom. We just tested the technology for live streaming video, so you can sit in front of your computer and view the classroom and view any lectures or classes that we have up there right from your computer, ask your questions. So I'm expecting that we'll be able to roll that out at the end of 2015, at the end of summer, actually. Okay, back to the online classroom. If you'll notice down here, looks like I have 2 messages from students. These are on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And this is your alert. We have an internal messaging system. It's how we take care of things administratively. So, for example, if you're going to be away and not available for a month or 2 or going on vacation, I'll get a lot of those messages or anything like that administratively. That is a private conversation that you and I have. So that is where we take care of those types of things. So you go into the HVAC technician course itself. All of our courses are laid out like this. And we have, the one thing that we have is the class forum. This is where I was talking about where you can have a question that pops up a week after the lecture and post it in there. And we've been getting a really good, we're getting a lot of good comments in here. Doug had a question I guess this was today. And he has just started the course. And what he did is he had some pictures of something that is at his work, and he's wanting to know what it is. And he wanted to know what this green thing was down here. He wasn't sure. So took a few more pictures. I responded with this, and then he asked a little bit more, and I shot him a video that I had done for our commercial refrigeration class to learn more. This is where you learn a lot, and if you participate, you can learn a ton. And I don't care if this is from work, something you heard, something you saw, your house, anything that's HVAC related. This is where it gets posted. We can all share and learn together. Okay, so this is a replay of the refrigeration cycle that we just did a couple of weeks ago, live and online. It's about 45 minutes long. So anytime that we have some live training, I'll post it up here for you in case you missed it for a month or so, and then I'll put it back, hide it back here behind one of these links so we don't clutter up the page. Okay, so here is Module 1, Temperature and Theory of Heat. And we have our learning objectives. We have the reading assignment for the 5th edition and the 7th edition. And then these links right here are corresponding links to video lectures that go along with your reading. So if there's something that that is important for you to learn, then there is a video that goes along with that as well. We're adding videos on a weekly basis. Then you have key concepts down here, and then you have your exams. And the exams are timed, and you have to pass with a minimum passing score of 80% or greater. You cannot access module 2 until you have completed module 1 with a score of 80% or greater. Now, as you go through, we have refrigeration, refrigerants, general safety practices, tubing and piping. There's 19 modules of instruction. So you get down to this, when you get to the refrigeration is when things start to get a little more in depth and a little more fun. Then we have plenty of videos here. We have additional videos here. Here's another TXV webinar that I did a couple of weeks ago where I posted this up here for your learning. We have supplementary information, little interactive refrigeration exercise where you can look at your gauges, take your temperature probe and drag and drop it around the little refrigeration circuit here and measure superheat, subcooling, and see what it looks like pressure and temperature wise for an overcharged system or an undercharged system and so forth. And we also have our live, it's not really live, but it is our HVAC simulation that is even more complex and in detail. I have a video on that, and I will, if you're interested, I will shoot that video to you. It's almost like the old Doom game walkthrough. You can take your gauges and put it on the equipment, and you take your meter out and troubleshoot it and so forth. So here are all our modules of instruction. They become unlocked as you pass each exam with 80% or greater. Now I am doing a commercial refrigeration class, and I am doing some extensive videos for it. I'm giving those to you as well. So they'll be down here at the bottom of the HVAC technician course. And as I add videos, you can go through here and begin to learn the principles of commercial refrigeration. Much of what you learn in residential air conditioning crosses over to commercial. And this will be up here until I complete the course. And then I will take these down and put it in a course of its own for HVAC technicians that are currently working in the field. All right, guys, so that is what the online class looks like. Okay. How are we different? Like I said, I am interested in you personally, and I'm interested in raising the bar for the HVAC industry in general. The course evolves and grows based on your needs. So if I start to get a ton of questions about a certain topic, then I'm going to be shooting videos on that to explain it. Or if you get stuck, I'm going to help you out with that. So it continually grows and evolves. You do have access for as long as you need to complete the course. And if there's no activity after 2 years, you get dropped out of the course, but you can have unlimited access to the course materials to come back and brush up on a year or two from now. You learn things not taught in textbooks. We talk about a lot of things that I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks and by making mistakes to help you not make those same mistakes. And those are things nobody's going to tell you. And then when you do make that mistake out there, they're going to all go, yeah, that we did that too. We should have told you. Well, I'm going to try and tell you everything that I screwed up on. Again, I'm here to help you in any way possible. I enjoy hearing the success stories from my students. We're all into this together. Okay, the HVAC industry. So here it is. The jobs are growing 21% faster than the national average. And I look at this and that is a fact. That means we're needing HVAC technician. But the other thing is a little bit of a hidden job numbers there are guys out there that are working in the HVAC technician field that know a little bit about what they're doing, and they're just kind of filling those slots because contractors can't find good, clear-eyed, ethical, trained technicians that have some character. Average salary is $45,000 a year, and I know technicians that have earned $60,000 to $65,000 a year, but those aren't your hacks. These are your professional technicians that are top-notch and are students of their trade. There's always jobs available. If you don't think so, just wait for about a month and go to Craigslist and search for jobs in any city in the U.S. You're going to find that HVAC is one that they're always looking for. As an HVAC technician, you're a thinking man's trade. This is not like you're a painter or a roofer. You have got to understand the science and the theory behind what we're doing. You're also a welder, an electrician, a plumber, troubleshooter, and you're a salesman. And sometimes you have to be a counselor for those people that have been without heating or cooling and they have sick children and they're crying when you go to the door. Okay, so again, the biggest challenge in the HVAC industry is technician education, and most HVAC technicians are not academically well-rounded. If they did go to trade school, that was the last class they went to 15 years ago. That's a good thing for you. Contractors are really hungry for guys that have character, have taken an interest in their in self-education, and the education does matter. If you think not, I don't know why the HVAC industry is any different than any other job. If you are unskilled looking for an HVAC technician job, you're probably not going to get one. And if you do, you're going to be carrying somebody's tools, and you're going to be the grunt worker forever because there's nobody there capable of training you. So these guys, HVAC contractors, they're looking for people. So if you have character and you have some education, you can go in there and you can land yourself a job. Okay, so here's some of the things I get. This is from Craig. He this is about he attended the local HVAC school in Pittsburgh, and he learned more online from one or two of my videos than what he paid for in the school, and it'll help him in his current job. Here's another technician. Never fully understood how air conditioning works. This is a technician. I'm an HVAC technician, and this video has helped me so much. I finally understand the process completely. This proves my point. This is a better explanation of refrigeration than you would receive spending $2,000 attending a class in thermodynamics. Here's a student in Destin, Florida, Marvin, and he landed a job in with heating and cooling services of Destin, Florida. There is Robert Olwell. He got hired on right after Module 3. He decided to go out and take the bull by the horns and go interview at an HVAC company. And the general manager was a little skeptical about that he was online, but then Robert pointed out that he was just studying the refrigeration cycle, talked to him about pressures, temperatures, subcooling, and superheating, and the general manager was surprised that he knew what latent heat was, and he was impressed with the content of what he was learning. Robert got the job just as he started Module 4 and moved on. So a couple of my success stories there. So is this course right for you? You are the only one that can decide that. This industry and this job, this career field is not for everybody. Online training is not for everybody. If you are motivated and self-disciplined, and you are someone who thinks that you can be a top-notch technician, then it is for you. If you just want to try and get the certificate and go out there and land a job because you have a piece of paper in your hand, then this course is not for you. I want to turn out highly educated students to our HVAC industry to raise the bar just a bit. I do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and there is a special offer tonight to help you get started without a lot of money out of your pocket. And then I am going to jump over, pop up that special offer, and then I will be able to answer your questions. All right, guys, I will see you and I'll talk to you in just a bit. And I'll stay on as long as I need to answer the questions, any questions that you may have. Okay, guys, I am ready. I'm ready to answer your questions, and you just need to fire away when ready. And there is a delay, so if you ask your question 5 minutes or so ago, it may just be popping up on my screen here. Okay. All right. Is your program accredited, and what type of certificates do you obtain through your course? We are not accredited. We are an approved training organization by NATE, the National Association of Technical Excellence for HVAC technicians, and we are approved by the state of Virginia as for their education requirements for their 240 hours for the HVAC technicians in Virginia, and we are working on accreditation here in Florida as a distance learning, but that's distance learning organization, but that is a long, drawn out and expensive process that just doesn't happen in a month or two. Okay, is the EPA 608 required for me to get a job in the HVAC field? Absolutely. The EPA 608 is the federal government's EPA certification that you need to handle refrigerants. Even if technically, if you're carrying that jug of refrigerant, that doesn't go that far. But if you hook up gauges and are working in the HVAC field to any equipment, you have to have an EPA certification that allows you to do that. And it's a $10,000 fine for you and a $10,000 fine for the contractor that you work for if you don't have your EPA license. The EPA 608, we do talk about that. We do study that, and there is a practice EPA test that you can take over and over until you're ready to go. It's the most difficult test I've ever taken. Oh, and then there's Tim. Yeah, Tim. But hey, hoorah, Tim. Semper Fi. 8 years living here in Jacksonville, former Marine. Thank you very much for your compliments there, Tim. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested in, if you're an HVAC tech and interested in attending the courses up there in Baker Distributing, stay in contact with me and I'll let you know when they are. Okay, another question here. A certificate, what do you receive? You do get a letter of completion with your the outline of the course, all of the modules that you've taken, all of the grades for your module. Students that participate and are active in the course, I have an additional letter for them, and you also get a certificate of completion. I am here if you have a job interview and they're questioning the education that you have taken. I am here. You can put me as a reference on your resume. Any other questions that we have here? Obviously, I covered quite a bit of ground. Hopefully, I try and answer all those questions. Okay, well, here's one about the book. There is a textbook. It's a college level textbook. It's used in many of the technical colleges that teach HVAC. It's about 1,500 pages long. It is sold separately. I don't sell the book. I do have a link to a bookseller that provides the HVAC simulation and the textbook for us. But you don't have to buy it from them. You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and purchase it there. Sometimes you can find it used. The book is $151, and that includes shipping and the 2 years HVAC simulation access. And then if you're interested in what that looks like, I have a video to show you. I just didn't pop it up tonight. Okay, so I'm going to leave the line open here for just a few more minutes, again, because there is a delay. And sometimes if I leave too early, then I miss a couple questions that come in at the last minute. All right, guys, last chance here for questions. I hope to see you in the class. If you have any questions, you can come into mind later. You can always call me. My number is 904-742-9511. Please don't give that out to everybody, and don't call me tonight after 10 o'clock. So just give me a call tomorrow or leave a voicemail message and with a good time to call you back, and I'll do so. All right, I'm going to remain on the line here for just about 10 more minutes. Make sure there's no more questions. If I answered your questions, thank you so much for coming, and I will check back in with you all in just a bit. Okay, here's a question. Does your HVAC course have the discount, and does the 30-day money back guarantee hold? What I have done is it's usually $395 to start and $79 a month for 10 months. I know it's tough to come up with by the time you buy your book, almost $500 to start. So I've made it a little bit easier for you to get going here. And the guarantee does still hold, 30-day money back guarantee. I can tell you right now, um, this is, I know this is the best course around that you can take on the internet, because you will not find, I don't think you'll find any online HVAC course where you have access to your instructor like you have access to me. And and if you sign up now, you're going to still be in the class at the end of summer. I need some guinea pigs to test the online live streaming from the classroom multi-camera training to get some feedback and some help to get a student's eye view while online. So you guys are going to be helping me out with that as well. I hope that answered your question, Lorenzo. Oh, okay. Lorenzo, it's 904 742 9511. I am on the East Coast in Florida, so you can call me anytime after 8 a.m. and before 6 p.m. And after that, if you just shoot me a message, I'm usually online, but I like to shut that phone down after a little bit. Okay, heat pumps, Jeff. Heat pumps we do cover, and here's the thing: is the heat pumps we cover refrigeration in depth and um, thoroughly, because the heat pump does a reverse cycle refrigeration. Then we go on, once you learn air conditioning and the refrigeration, we do go on to heat pumps. And then we talk about the reversing valve, and especially the defrost control and how the defrost cycles work, and troubleshooting heat pumps. And we get a lot into the heat pump part when we get to the controls and the schematics. And because the refrigeration is um, one component, the reversing valve, that makes an air conditioner a heat pump. But that's the key. Yes, Lorenzo, yes, you got it right. Good. Jeff, I hope, did that answer your question, Jeff? I'm not certain how long this delay is here. We were testing the live streaming up in Jacksonville um, today, and I was surprised that there was such there's probably a 2-3 minute delay between the time I am speaking and the time that you're typing in your questions. So that was an eye opener for me. Oh, and also, Jeff, we do cover gas furnaces as well. So we do go into gas furnaces, and as that bonus, you guys are getting access to the commercial refrigeration video course. And once you get through probably module 9 or so of this course, and if you pop down and look at the commercial refrigeration course, it's going to be a lot of bonus information for you. All right, last shot at me here live anyway. And again, you're welcome to call me um, tomorrow if you'd like. If I'm busy shooting videos, I probably won't answer the phone, but I do check it consistently in between. So this is our year of videos and live streaming. I'm very excited about that. Okay, well, good, Lorenzo. From Jacksonville, the delay was pretty long. So I don't know whether it was internet connection back here at the office, or if it was, I know the one up in Jacksonville was pretty fast. So that's good. Well, that's good to know. All right, guys. So a couple more minutes here. Any last minute questions come to mind? No worries. The other thing is you are welcome to attend the live schematic reading class. That's April 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To get a taste of what the live online training is like. Again, we're going to kick it up a notch, I think, this year. If we can pull off the technology, I'm pretty excited about that. And if the link is on the website, and if you can't find it, then just shoot me an email and I'll take care of it. I'll get you the link. All right, gents, that is it for me. Again, thank you very much for spending your evening with me, and I hope to be talking to you in the future.